I welcome you on my first online lesson dedicated solely to Armbar. We'll have 12 lessons, and step by step, we'll analyze Armbar. We'll start with the basics. I separated in 3 steps for ease of understanding, and I'll do it slow. But then speed comes later. Most important is to stand correctly. Always stick to this rule, like Lord's Prayer. If you're perpendicular, you hook this arm closest to his head. If I rotate the other way, it's the other arm. In order to fall softly and block the opponent, we don't use this arm other than just grabbing and pulling it up a little bit and holding with your hip by his head. And in this moment, we're falling and sticking the arm through. We fell on our shoulder. One more time. I'm falling and weaving the arm in. Elbow deep and put it on my hip. Many people grab lapel. I know my arm is going to get tired, but if it's on the hip, if he tries to hide it, if I pull with my arm with 2 hands, it's hard. But if I just lift my hip, arm will get exposed. Also understand, if you can stick your arm right away, I still recommend to prop it with a free hand. And your knee press against far ear, here, so his head doesn't move. And we're catching ourselves in order not to hit the mat hard. So hold him tight, control the arm, and because of squeezing your legs, and I stick my arm in, elbow deep. One more time. Falling. Pull the arm up. Simultaneously we hold it, control it. Holding his head with the leg. And as we fly, fall on the shoulder and weaving the arm. Then we hook. How do you hook? Hook by his hip, not below, because he can stuff it between your legs, his legs. The higher the better. And straighten it out. After we got the arm elbow deep and put it on the hip, covered with a hook, immediately press against his head and drop in the hip. How do we press the head? If I'm like this, butt up, he can separate my leg and control it. I won't be able to roll him. That is why, you see this space here? I want to close this by falling sideways. There is no more gap. Another important thing, once you hear about to start doing armbar, we have one free arm. This arm is free for a reason. When he starts to come up, I grab his thigh. How do we do that? Don't grab the pants, no shorts, no far pant. The best thing is to connect his hip to your chest. If it's plain, he can get his leg free and he'll get tired. That's why grab it tight to your chest. Try to swing your leg now. We secured the position and he's got no amplitude to swing his leg. That's the first. Fell, press the head, hook, control the leg. Tension, leg pressure, and his forearm is not free because he's holding his arm. I'm about to submit. You see? It's holding. If he lets it go, I'll pull it out. That's why he's holding it. So all 4 sides are disconnected, or blocked rather. Always keep tension on his arm so the guy does not escape. How do we do that? You see the tension. If I don't press the head, the arm will not have tension. He'll try to roll through to save himself from discomfort. But we need this arm. That's why I press the head so the arm is tensed, pulled. He's wasting his energy to hold his arms. And I save my energy. You see, my strength is in my arm. And if the arm is tired, I put it on my hip. I disperse my strength on a stronger limb. See, just pull the hip up and the arm is tensed. I can hold with two hands and switch effort to my back. And everything is resting once I pull with my back. Back is tired, I use my arm. So I keep moving in between power sources. So if I relax and pull in, I give him some breathing room. Oxygen is strength and he'll be strong. So keep it tight so the arm is getting numb and white and loses his strength. That's why I press the head. For guys that work without the gi, everything is the same. I heard one guy, multiple Mundial champion, in gi and no gi, and he said 70% of his training in gi in order to make my moves correct. And once I take my gi off, I do everything the same with minor adjustments, but they don't really affect much. Same here. The only know-how, there is nowhere to grab his elbow. I know Grisha is hairy, we can pull his hair, but if the guy is bald, he squeezed, he compressed his arms, you can always grab him by the crook of the elbow, a little bit below the bicep, and it will get pulled up. You see, he squeezes, but I still have a handle right here, and I pull it up. There is something to grab here. That's why it's not very important, gi or no gi. And then everything else is the same. Stick my arm through, drop my hips, press the head. Mistakes. Let's look at troubleshootings and mistakes that you might experience during drilling. The worst mistake, as you fall, you try to catch yourself. So a split second expires where he can suddenly hide his elbows. And I lost the elbow. In this position, when he doesn't think about it yet, I grab the right away, and once I fall, I stick my arm immediately. Another homework. After you do this, write it down. Write that you understood everything, where the arms go, how to pull, or your troubleshootings when you cannot do correctly. Write everything down. It's in your best interests. Because once you write, your brain works twice as hard. And you see the mistakes, you see pros and cons, and you work. And I understand that people on my online course wants to progress, and they'll listen to my advice in order to get their goals.